played well and has given the Raiders some continuity at the position, but it's clear that neither he nor Pryor are the long-term answer at the quarterback spot for Oakland.
And today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Well, the weather here in the Bay Area, 60 degrees. The wind 5 miles per hour, partly cloudy skies. Terrific day here in Oakland, California. O.co Coliseum. Oakland Raiders have officially been eliminated. They needed about 17 things to happen in order to make the playoffs, but with a Miami win, Oakland is out officially. Kickoff from Janikowski to Demps. Demps slowed down to the 20. Now Demps finding a lane. Quentin Demps out across midfield, and Kansas City has been outstanding on special teams this season. Demps gives the Chiefs excellent field position to open up on a 51-yard return.
Yeah, really a poor kickoff by Janikowski. It bounces to Demps. He does a nice job of the short hop and then follows his blocking. Breaks a tackle there, but this is really an example of a team that in the Raiders at this point of the season vulnerable on special teams, just as the Redskins were last week against the Chiefs.
Alex Smith, back in the Bay Area. Spent his first 8 years as a member of the San Francisco 49ers, now leading the Chiefs. Smith, dump off to Charles. Getting to the outside, Jamal Charles down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. Charles goes all the way. Touchdown, 49 yards. What a way to open up for KC.
Yeah, just a simple screen pass to Jamal Charles, looking to pick up a couple of yards, but this is Jamal Charles, his 4th touchdown reception of the year to go along with his 10 rushing touchdowns. Out in front, he gets a fine block by Rodney Hudson, the center. Does he stay in bounds? Apparently so. The official's right on the spot there, and Charles goes in untouched.
Smith to Charles to get things started for Kansas City. One play, 49 yards, 22 seconds in. Ryan Succop on for the extra point. Chiefs open with a bang in Oakland. It's quiet in the black hole. 7-0 Kansas City. The last Chief to lead the team in rushing yards and receptions in the same season have to go back 10 years. Priest Holmes in 2003. Jamal Charles is doing it right now for Kansas City. One play, 49 yards for the Chiefs. They've got a 7-0 lead on the Oakland Raiders. Ryan Succop will kick it off for the Chiefs. Deep man is Tyron Jones. Thought about it. And he takes the knee. Raiders will have it at the 20-yard line. Matt McGloin making his 5th start of the season for the Oakland Raiders at quarterback.
Yeah, he told us that the Raiders must put together a complete game to beat the Chiefs. They've been have to be more focused, more consistent on third downs. In Iron today, look for Marcel Reese to be matched up on a linebacker on third downs, an advantage that McGloin wants to use very often today.
6 offensive linemen. Menelik Watson is out there for Oakland to open things up. Rashad Jennings in the backfield with Reese. Fake the handoff. McGloin to throw it. Getting Reese involved right away. Marcel Reese pushed out of bounds. Big play for Oakland to open things up. Sean Smith with the shove. 45 yards on the catch and run.
Well, here's the linebacker, Derek Johnson. Reese comes out of the backfield here after the play-action fake. And this is exactly what McGloin is talking about. Get the versatile Marcel Reese on a linebacker. Derek Johnson, one of the fastest linebackers, is no match for Reese on this play.
Marcel Reese told us the other day, I'm okay with whatever the coaches need from me. I'm just not okay with losing. That's what the Raiders are trying to change. On a first down in Kansas City territory, Jennings gets the call and picks up 2 yards. Frank Zombo in to make the play for Kansas City. On offense for the Oakland Raiders, up front, Mike Brazel is back. Brazel missed the loss to the Jets last week with ankle and knee trouble. Backs and receivers, Rashad Jennings didn't play last week because of a concussion. He's in there, but as you just saw, Marcel Reese is going to be a big part of the offense as well. They line up together with Reese in front of Jennings. 2nd and 8. Jennings surges to just shy of the 30-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup. Derek Johnson in on that play for Kansas City. Defensively for the Chiefs last week, the 45-10 win over Washington. Tyson Jackson had a pair of sacks in that victory. Linebackers, Tamba Hali having another Pro Bowl season. Hali, 11 sacks for Kansas City. Zombo is in for the injured Justin Houston, missing his 3rd straight game with the elbow injury. Eric Berry leads all defensive backs in the NFL with 3.5 sacks this season. Dime package here for KC. 3rd and 5 for Oakland. Play clock down to 4. McGloin operating out of the gun. McGloin throws. Strong pass to Rivera. It's a 1st down. That's one thing Kansas City talked about. McGloin's willing to take chances and will throw it into tight windows. He did it just there for a gain of 12.
Yeah, this is more like a porthole, though. Whoa, what a shot there. 6 defensive backs, and Rivera gets inside. And McGloin fearless with that strike over the middle. They beat a very good corner in Brandon Flowers.
McGloin, undrafted free agent. He told us, in his mind, it doesn't matter if you're a 1st-round pick, if you're an undrafted free agent, you have to perform. It's a performance-based business, and that's why McGloin is making his 5th straight start. McGloin to throw it. Oh, he had a man open! Marcel Reese was by himself, and McGloin threw it too deep.
Yeah,
incomplete.
A couple of things happened there. He bought so much time when started to roll out to the left side of our screen, and Reese kind of stopped at the goal line here. You can see number 45. I think that McGloin thought he may have been continuing on his route. Even if he had been continuing, I think that ball got out of his hand and would have been out of bounds.
2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Jennings in the backfield. Give it to Jennings. A little bit of a stutter step met by Allen Bailey. It's a 4-yard pickup for Jennings. Darren McFadden out once again for Oakland with the ankle injury.
Let's go back to that last play where Reese comes down the field and stops here, stacked in behind Denarius Moore, who's playing with a bad shoulder, but if he had continued running, see, even that ball was just thrown too far. Too excited for McGloin on that play when you see a guy so wide open near the goal line.
And it brings up 3rd and 6. Kansas City with a 7-0 lead. Smith to Charles on a 49-yard touchdown. Shotgun for McGloin. Raiders looking for the equalizer. Drop ball underneath. It would have been a 1st down for Rivera. And now Janikowski will come on for Oakland.
Yeah, there's nothing more you can say about this than just a drop pass by Rivera, slightly thrown behind him. It's still a play that an NFL wide receiver, and even if you're a rookie at this point of the season, you've got to make that catch. Critical 3rd down drop by Rivera.
Rivera, the rookie tight end out of Tennessee, 6th-round draft pick. 32 catches on the season, unable to haul that one in. 34-yard attempt for Janikowski. He knocks it through. The Raiders are on the board. 7-3. Kansas City leads it. 11:05 mark. 1st quarter in Oakland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
And back here in the Bay Area, Uncle Jesse watching the broadcast today, and there's the Bay Bridge. We join you from O.Co Coliseum. Matt McGloin had some opportunities there. Raiders have to settle for the 34-yard field goal after the 8-play, 65-yard drive. 45 yards on the catch by Marcel Reese. Chiefs lead it 7-3. Janikowski will kick it off. Demps and Gray are deep. Demps has a touchdown return, 95 yards this year. No Dexter McCluster today, out with the ankle problem. Knile Davis the return man for Kansas City on that play as he brings it across the 30-yard line. Time for our Fouts Focus and the versatility of Jamaal Charles.
Well, we've already seen it, Ian. Wherever he lines up, he's a threat to make a game-changing play. Last week against Washington, lined up as a wide receiver, took the quick screen pass from Alex Smith, got some help from his right tackle, Eric Fisher, and wide receiver Donnie Avery, and got into the end zone. Had 5 catches in the first game for 50 yards, 1 today for 49 and a touchdown.
58 catches now in the season for Charles. This is a running play. Charles stamped for no gain. Nick Roach with the tackle, and Alex Smith 29-8-1 in his last 3 seasons as a starting quarterback.
Well, he told us his concern with the Raiders, and it's being one of those dangerous teams that has nothing more to lose in the season, that he and the Chiefs can't afford to give them hope and have them hang around in the game. And he says the Chiefs have to start fast, as they did last week. They have started fast today.
On a 2nd and 10. Charles brought down just short of the 40-yard line. Let's check out the starting offense for Kansas City. Injury to Brandon Albert, sitting once again. Albert out with a hyperextended knee, so Donald Stevenson getting the nod. Alex Smith had high praise for the job that Stevenson has done. And this offensive line, he said, they've really improved over the course of the season. Backs and receivers, Charles, the multi-dimensional talent, headed to another Pro Bowl. He's been to Hawaii in 2010 and 2012. Third and short, Smith. Oh, great hands. Dwayne Bowe on the receiving end. And a first down for Kansas City. They'll move the chains. It's a 7-yard pickup. Charles Woodson over there defensively.
Well, Brandon Ross playing cornerback actually at Phillip Adams here. That ball perfectly thrown. Rob Adams had good coverage that time. 50 catches now for Bowe, but the big catch, though, on third down keeps this drive alive.
Just across the 45-yard line, motion man is Avery for the Chiefs. Deep drop for Smith. Smith will throw it. Open man is Avery. Falls down, gets back up, an extra yardage. Into Oakland territory to the 30-yard line. They pick up 23 yards on the pass.
Well, the key on this play is the time that Smith has to throw this ball. He got back in rhythm, and right down the sidelines behind C.O. Moore is Avery. A busted coverage for the Raiders as Mike Jenkins playing deep and not keeping track of where Avery was on the sidelines.
Avery had just 1 catch last week for 7 yards in that blowout win over Washington. That ended a 3-game losing streak for Kansas City. Currently a half game behind Denver in the AFC West. 5-1 on the road. Smith, he is sacked. Pat Sims, first man there for Oakland. It's a loss of 8 on the play.
First man there and a first sack of the season for Sims. It's been a long time coming, but he beat the left guard, Jeff Allen. Here's Allen, and here's Sims right here. And it's just an overpowering pass rush here. Little swim move. Gets inside Stevenson, who was trying to block 2 men.
So Sims combining with Houston. And a 2nd and 19 now for Kansas City. Charles in the backfield, play fake. Smith looking downfield, lets it fly. Incomplete. Donnie Avery with the future Hall of Famer Charles Woodson back there for Oakland. Defensively for the Raiders, they come in ranked 18th in team defense in the NFL. Up front, Stacey McGee is in for the injured Vance Walker. Walker out with a concussion. Linebackers for Oakland. Nick Roach is the leading tackler. He came over as a free agent for Chicago, and he's been the kind of leader that Dennis Allen is looking for. And Brandon Ross starts at safety. Tyvon Branch officially placed on IR with an ankle injury. Only 2 games for Branch this season. 3rd and 19. High throw. Snared by Charles. Charles after the catch. Jamaal Charles is going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's Charles. After the catch, he turns it upfield for 39 yards and his 2nd of the day.
Well, it's a spectacular catch, number 1. but it was a blitz by the Raiders. Jason Tarver, defensive coordinator, bringing the blitz from this side. Watch Charles sneak out here on the screen, and there's just nobody there. Look at the catch with one hand, never did pull it in, and then down the field, Chad Hall does a nice job. Again, going in untouched. They ought to run that screen pass more. They're 2 for 2 for touchdowns.
I think it's working. And just from the broadcast booth perspective, Ryan Suckup with the extra point. Kansas City a 14-3 lead. The skills of Jamaal Charles on display in Oakland. 14-3 lead for the Chiefs. This rivalry dates back to the old AFL days. This is the 110th meeting between these two teams. None more contentious than in 1970.
There's a flag, and here's Ben Davidson being jumped on by one of the Chiefs. 2 more Chiefs come in. There's a big pile up. Davidson and Taylor are going at it. There are at least 8 Chiefs. Here come all the Raiders. Holy Toledo. It's a free-for-all.
George Blanda, 48-yard field goal to finish the game. Tied. Final score 17-17. The legendary Bill King on the call there. A lot of history between the Chiefs and the Raiders, Dan.
Well, it's, you know, they've been playing since the beginning of the AFL. That's the unique thing about the AFC West. All 4 teams have been playing for 53 years now, and not any of them like each other.
Suckup on the kickoff. Tywan Jones cutting it to the outside. Jones brought down as he crossed the 25-yard line. Penalty flag thrown at the 19.
During the return, holding return team number 42. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Oakland.
Clete Blakeman, our referee. Shelton Johnson called for the penalty.
Well, give Andy Reid and Doug Peterson some credit for having the perfect play called. Watch the blitz here for the Raiders. All coming from this side. The screen pass goes out to the weak side. And then just poor pursuit and horrible tackling by Oakland here after a great catch. And look at this speed and explosion.
2 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns for Jamaal Charles. McGloin and the Raiders open up with a 1st and 10. Tip ball, incomplete. Dontari Poe getting some penetration. Fantasy football fans, keep the excitement going all postseason with Playoff Challenge, now with bigger cash prizes. See rules and sign up at cbssports.com/challenge. Here in Oakland, O.Co Coliseum. It opened in 1966. Talked to the Chiefs about coming in here, and they relish the chance to play in front of these fans. Here's McGloin. Slant. Threading the needle. Streeter breaks a tackle. First down out near the 40-yard line. Rod Streeter, physical at 6'3", 200 pounds. That covers 26 yards.
And Brandon Flowers, the other corner, this is Sean Smith here, but Flowers talks about the Raider receivers. First thing that always comes to mind when you think about the silver and black wideouts is speed, but he said they're more complete receivers now, bigger, stronger, and they still have the speed. As Streeter broke a tackle to get that gain.
Rod Streeter trying to become the first 1,000-yard receiver since Randy Moss for the Raiders. Give his to Jennings. Jennings stood up after the gain of 3. Mike DeVito forcing him backwards as he crossed the 40-yard line. Here's a look at the AFC West right now. Kansas City, an opportunity after San Diego knocked off Denver. Chargers now 7-7. Oakland at 4-9. The Chiefs still with a chance to win this division, still with a chance to get the #1 seed in the AFC after starting the year 9-0.
Yeah, I like the way that the end of the season, the AFC West teams will be playing against each other.
Kansas City has not swept the Raiders since 2006. McGloin out of the pistol to Jennings. 4-yard gain. They'll spot him just short of the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Tyson Jackson for Kansas City.
Jennings averaging over 4.5 yards a carry on the season as he comes out on this 3rd down, but a very valuable player as he has filled in for Darren McFadden most of the year.
And Dan, there's a pretty good chance we're not going to see Darren McFadden in a Raider uniform ever again.
Well, it's just too frustrating. Seems to get injured almost every other game he plays.
McFadden missing his 19th game in the last 39 for Oakland. 3rd and 3. McGloin trying to convert. It's intercepted. Could be a pick six. Eric Berry untouched. Kansas City blowing away Oakland here in the first quarter. Touchdown Chiefs.
Now we talked about McGloin's willingness to try to fit the ball in. Real tight spots, but this had no chance at all. Here's Eric Berry right in the middle, almost like a nickel linebacker here. He's going to read the eyes. Look at him just stare down the quarterback, expecting the slant route to Reese, and then clear sailing to the end zone.
Eric Berry, he is a star. Kansas City now 11 returns for touchdowns this season. That's the most in the NFL. That ties a franchise record. That's his second of the season. 47 yards on the return. And they've gone silent in Oakland. Ryan Succop with the extra point. 21-3. Kansas City doing it on offense, doing it on defense. Chiefs up big.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sonos, the wireless hi-fi system. And by Walmart. Walmart's got the season's hottest gifts at everyday low prices. Come in and see for yourself.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Bird's eye view of O.co Coliseum. We've seen a lot of Kansas City highlights from up there. 21-3. The Chiefs on top of the Raiders. And Succop will kick it off for the Chiefs. Jones, the return man. Jones is going to take it out of the end zone. Right up the middle, and Jones thrown down as he hit the 17-yard line by James Michael Johnson.
Well, it was a 3rd down, and McGloin said he was going to go to Marcel Reese. Here's Berry right here. It's just a little slant and stop route by Reese, but just watch the eyes of Berry. Breaking in front of the route and then taking it all the way back, but at some point McGloin's got to be a little bit more judicious where that tight spot is, trying to fit the ball in and maybe look off a safety or two.
Kansas City has outscored their opponents 38-3 in the first quarter over the last 2 games. 17 last week against Washington, 21 this week. Play fake. McGloin, incomplete. Jaron Mastrud, the intended target. For Kansas City, the most first quarter points the Chiefs have scored since December 6, 1998. They put up 21 that day at Denver.
Talking to Dennis Allen about the use of his quarterbacks today. He said we will see Terrell Pryor because of his explosiveness and his big playability. We may see him sooner than even Dennis Allen might have expected to see him.
And Allen mentioned that they want teams to have to account for both McGloin and for Pryor in preparation. Handed off to Reese. Running off tackle, Reese picks up 5 yards for Oakland, hit by Akeem Jordan. This is an Oakland team that's 4-9. They've lost 3 in a row. They've won just 1 of their last 6 games. Beat Houston back in week 11.
And they've had real trouble beating teams with winning records.
Haven't beat a team with a winning record since 2011.
I mean, that's unbelievable. That means you never win the first game of the year, the second game of the year.
It was November 27, 2011, beat Chicago. The Bears were 7-3. They were playing without Jay Cutler that day. Jennings has got a first down. Across the 30-yard line for Oakland. They'll move the chains with an 8-yard pickup for Rashad Jennings, who's been one of the big surprises for the Raiders. The former Jacksonville Jaguar getting the opportunity with the injury to McFadden.
Now, this will do wonders for Matt McGloin more than anything else, just to get a first down, get a little breathing room, and keep the offense on the field.
This Oakland team will have a lot of cap space. They'll have 7 draft picks in 2014. So as they remake this roster, trying to figure out who's going to fit in, who's going to be a part of it. Underneath to Streeter. spun down after the gain of 5. Tamba Hali in on that stop. But you look around the league, and the teams that are still trying to figure out their identity are usually the teams that don't know whether or not they have a quarterback on their roster moving forward. And Oakland would qualify.
Absolutely. It's been 3 years now for Terrell Pryor as a quote-unquote project. His knee injury didn't help his progress this year.
Deep ball, McGloin.
They got to throw a flag there.
And they will. Streeter against Flowers.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. Ball replaced with a spot of foul. First down, Oakland.
Well, Brandon Flowers is going to make this very easy call for the officials. As Streeter, the good move there, that's an illegal bump. That's more contact. That's holding. So easy call on a 26-yard penalty against Brandon Flowers. But you can tell that McGloin has a lot of trust in his fellow free agent, Rod Streeter.
Raiders continue to go with the extra offensive lineman, Menelik Watson. Stutter step move for 2.5 yards for Rashad Jennings. With the playoff races heating up, download NFL Mobile to get live video access to exclusive premium content on your smartphone. Call ** NFL to download or go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Message and data rates may apply. Motion man is Mastrud on a 2nd and 7 now. Total yards, Oakland actually in front. McGloin picks his man Jennings. Brought down at the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 through the air. So decisions moving forward. Does Rashad Jennings factor into the future for Oakland? They've certainly seen a lot from him as not just a runner, but a pass catcher as well. Dangerous through the air.
And he's also been a solid special teams player. So there will be a position for Rashad Jennings. I mean, he's really bailed out the Raiders in light of all the injuries to McFadden.
Now Taiwan Jones comes in. Jones has been bouncing back between defense and offense as a member of the Raiders. McGloin. Great hands. Streeter streaks down the sideline. What an effort by Rod Streeter, the second-year wideout out of Temple. 23 yards.
They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 8-yard line, but a lot of man-to-man coverage by the Chiefs. This time they drop into a zone and there's nobody on the strong side of the formation. Zombo will get him out of bounds before he can get to the pylon. But a couple of big plays now for Rod Streeter.
We told you Randy Moss, the last Raider to go over 1,000 yards receiving. That was in 2005. Streeter with an opportunity is now over 800 on the year. First and goal for Oakland. Operating out of the gun. McGloin, pump. McGloin, end zone. Marcel Reese, the intended target. It's incomplete.
Matt McGloin's pass intended for his fullback number 4.
Derek Johnson, the linebacker, in coverage for Kansas City.
Now this is what the Chiefs feared, is that to get a linebacker trying to cover Marcel Reese. And how close was that? Good coverage by Derek Johnson, forced that high throw.
9th play of the drive. Menelik Watson is in, eligible on that O-line. Rookie out of Florida State, number 71. Handoff. Jennings slicing through inside the 5.
Jennings inside the 5.
4-yard gain for Oakland. Kendrick Lewis with a stop for Kansas City.
Well, here's a situation where the Raiders definitely will be throwing the ball as they bring in Streeter and Marcel Reese. It'll be interesting to see how they isolate Streeter and Reese. Reese going to line up in the backfield, but keep your eye on number 80 here in the slot, Rod Streeter.
3rd and goal. Raiders trying to chip away at this Kansas City lead. Shotgun McGloin. Rush coming. McGloin tosses too high. Flag thrown. Michael Rivera in the vicinity. 2 flags on the play. One in the end zone, one at the line of scrimmage. And now a third flag in there as well, right around the goal line.
Yeah, it might be roughing the passer and holding on Demps as he was trying to keep Michael Rivera from getting to that pass in the back of the end zone.
So after the long discussion, Clete Blakeman ready to deliver the news.
Fouls against the defense on the play. Holding, number 35. That penalty's declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 29. The penalty is half the distance to the goal line. First down, Oakland.
So they accept the penalty against Eric Berry for roughing the passer as McGloin released the football.
Well, Berry is number 29 coming on the blitz right up the middle, and he hits the quarterback in the head, which you can't do. Demps holding on Rivera.
First and goal for Oakland. Motion man Rivera. Jennings gets the call. Jennings hit at the 2. And that'll be the final play of this opening quarter. Kansas City up 21-3 on the Oakland Raiders. Back in Oakland, California, Kansas City leading the Raiders 21-3 as we start this second quarter. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Dennis Allen, the youngest head coach in the NFL at 41, won a Super Bowl as an assistant coach with the New Orleans Saints. Defensive coordinator with Denver, that led to the head coaching job with the Oakland Raiders. 151 yards of offense in the first quarter, but only 3 points to show for it. And Terrell Pryor is in.
Now look for the Raiders to get him on the move.
He will shift Olawale over. Pryor looping. Pryor, stiff arm, out of bounds with a flag thrown. Akeem Jordan making the play defensively.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, number 55. Penalty's half the distance to the goal line. First down, Oakland.
And it was totally unnecessary penalty by Jordan. He had enough speed to just push Pryor out of bounds here, but by grabbing the face mask, he gives the Raiders a first down. He was going to keep Pryor out of the end zone. Don't know why he thought he had to grab the face mask.
Matt McGloin is back in for Oakland. 3 penalties against the Chiefs. We're just underway in the second quarter.
This is exactly what the Chiefs didn't want to do, is to give the Raiders hope like this.
One play for Pryor. Face mask was called against Jordan. First and goal for Oakland. McGloin on a give. Jennings goes over the top for the touchdown. Rashad Jennings takes off and takes it in for the score.
A little misdirection here. Most of the time you see the tailback follow the fullback, but Reese is going to go this way, and over the left guard will go Jennings. Misdirection got the Chiefs, and Jennings gets in with ease.
11 plays, 82 yards for the Raiders. Extra point from Janikowski. Jennings now 10 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown. 21-10. Chiefs. Second quarter just underway from Oakland. Offensive coordinator Greg Olson chatting with Matt McGloin and Terrell Pryor. Rashad Jennings taking it in from 1 yard away, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. Oakland now trails Kansas City 21-10 with 14:40 to go in this first half. Janikowski will kick it off. Quentin Demps is once again deep. And Janikowski is going to kick it a little bit short on a bounce. It's Demps. A lot of traffic there as Demps is thrown down at the 27-yard line. NFC playoff picture, Seattle at 12-2, leading the way. New Orleans is 10-3. Philadelphia had a chance to really put a stranglehold on the NFC East, unable to do it. They get beaten by Minnesota. Chicago now at 8-6. San Francisco 10-4. Carolina 10-4. And Arizona is one game off the pace. First down for the Chiefs and Alex Smith. Back set up in the eye. Sherman in front of Charles. Kevin Burnett read it well. Shot through for a loss of 3 on the play.
Well, they've stopped him on the ground, but not through the air. First play of the game offensively. 49-yard touchdown on a screen pass, and that was set up by the 50-yard kickoff return by Dempsey. Second possession for the Chiefs. Same play, same results from 39 yards out.
So those 2 catches for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns for Charles. He now has 15 touchdowns on the season. Second and long. Charles up the middle to the 30-yard line for 6 yards. Also ran track at Texas, and you see those skills when it gets out into the open field. The dual threat of Charles, leading the Chiefs in rushing yards, leading the Chiefs in receptions this season.
It's third down for the Raiders. They've been 40% stopping their opponents this year, which is terrible. Chiefs are 2 for 2 so far in the first half.
This is a 3rd and 8 for Kansas City. Smith guns it, knocked away, incomplete. Dwayne Bowe, the intended receiver, and a flag thrown.
A real late flag thrown.
Penalty flag on the play.
Tracy
Pass
Porter.
interference. Defense, number 23. Ball placed at the spot of the foul. First down, Kansas City.
And it's Porter charged with a penalty. Dennis Allen looking for an explanation.
Well, the official must have had that flag deep in his pocket because it took him a long time to throw this. A lot of contact here on both players' part. That would have been a better non-call than a pass interference call.
Second penalty against the Raiders. Kansas City gets a first down at the 35. Niall Davis, the rookie out of Arkansas, is in. Davis running inside for 3. Hunter and Sims combined to bring him down. We asked Charles about Niall Davis, and he said, explosive talent, and he's fresh. He's quick, he's elusive, and then he said again, and he's fresh physically.
Well, he gives Jamal a chance to be fresh, especially in the fourth quarter. We'll see Davis more in the third quarter. That's where he's been able to get his yards and also give Charles a breather on the bench.
Charles back in there on a 2nd and 7 for the Chiefs. They lead 21-10. Smith plenty of time. Out of trouble. Smith goes down short of the 40-yard line. The stumble by Smith picks up 1.5 yards on the play.
Now, this is so unusual to be here in December and have a dry field here at O.co. Normally this time of year, when it rains in the Bay Area, the water has no place to go because this field is 22 feet below sea level with no drains.
And that will be the first of a number of San Francisco/Oakland Nuggets for you here from Bay Area native Dan Fouts.
I've played here too many times. I know exactly how bad it is.
3rd and 5 for the Chiefs. Deep drop. Smith flag thrown. Charles bottled up. But penalty marker on the play after the 2-yard pickup through the air.
And this will be another penalty against Kansas City. It'll probably be declined because Charles did not pick up the first down.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask. Offense, number 74. Penalties declined. Brings up 4th down.
So Jeff Schwartz, who's been starting at right guard instead of John Asamoah.
Number 2, Dustin Colquitt in punt formation for the
Well,
Chiefs.
working inside here, watch his left hand, and he gets a real good grab on Daniel Muir's face mask.
Greg Jenkins is the return man for Oakland, averaging 10.5 yards per return. Dustin Colquitt averaging 45 yards per kick to punt it. A long this season of 65. Long punt. Jenkins will let this one go over his head and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. This is a rivalry that goes back 53 years. The first meeting back in 1960 at Kezar Stadium. The Chiefs and the Raiders. Kansas City 21, Oakland 10, 11-12 mark of the second quarter here at O.co Coliseum. John Madden in attendance. Oakland head coach, 69-78, of course, with CBS, then moved on to Fox and ABC Monday Night Football as well. Here's McGloin. Deep ball, one-on-one. Streeter in a matchup with Flowers, and it's the Chiefs defensive back who wins that battle.
And Streeter prevented an interception maybe by Flowers by locating that ball and knocking it away with his left hand. Good coverage on the far side of the field on Andre Holmes.
So 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Raiders have 152 yards of offense. Jennings runs into a wall, unable to break free. Dontari Poe down there. Jordan, Lewis, all in on that stop. 2.5-yard gain for Kansas City, or Oakland. 3rd and 8 now, with 10:45 to play in this first half. For the Raiders, 4 different players have rushed for 100-plus yards in a game this season. Jennings, McFadden, Pryor, last week Marcel Reese. Only team in the NFL to have done that.
And that's good, and it's not so good.
Yeah, shows that you don't have the one guy that's doing it consistently, but you've got some depth. McGloin, unable to handle the snap, going back to get it, and Kansas City jumps in. Tamba Hali. The Chiefs come away with the football.
Well, let's check out where the snap goes here from Wisniewski. Just a little bit to the left and low. And McGloin trying to pick it up, then scrambling after it. Demps with a shot at it there. And then Hali comes in with his big, strong mitts and pulls it away for Kansas City. Another critical error by the Raiders offense. Got to give this one on Wisniewski. A bad snap. And then McGloin, instead of dropping on it immediately, tried to pick it up and make a play out of it.
Second fumble recovery for Tamba Hali this season. And another turnover for the Raiders. Kansas City with a first down deep in Oakland territory. Charles sets up as a receiver. Anthony Sherman is the single setback. A.J. Jenkins will shift behind him. It's a pitch. Jenkins runs it inside for a 4-yard pickup. Jenkins, the former San Francisco 49er, acquired in the deal for wide receiver John Baldwin.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of Jenkins' speed on that little pitch. Trying to draw the defense's attention over to Jamal Charles and run Jenkins to the other side of the field.
Again, no Dexter McCluster here today. We asked Andy Reid about McCluster. He said it's an ankle infection. He got cleated in Washington. Mud got in there. He actually practiced on Wednesday, complained of some pain, and that's when the doctors got involved. Charles again sets up on the outside. Shotgun for Kansas City. Smith on a pass to Charles. Stays on his feet. Charles takes it right to the goal line. Brought down shy of the touchdown by Brandon Moore.
See how close he comes to breaking the plane as he breaks the tackle of Woodson right there. And just short of the goal line. Good call by the officials. But the Chiefs back in business.
Injured Raider on the play. We'll come right back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Unleash. Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. And by Kelley Blue Book. Everything you need to make a smart new car decision is at KBB.com.
Welcome back, 21-10, Kansas City in front. Charles Woodson was the injured Raider on the play. He was able to walk off on his own. Medical staff was checking on him along the sideline. 7 offensive linemen for Kansas City on a 1st and goal. And a stoppage here by Clete Blakeman. 9:19 mark of the 2nd quarter.
Please put 31 seconds on the play clock. 31.
Let's go back to the injury to Woodson. Looked like he may have just had the wind knocked out of him when he hit the ground. He gets the big center falling on top of him. That's Rodney Hudson. Great effort by Charles, though, to get it inside the 1.
1st and goal for the Chiefs. Sherman in front of Charles, trying to add to their lead. Give it off to Charles, and he knifes his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Jamal Charles.
3 touchdowns on the day for Jamal Charles. 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. And the Chiefs in a rout in this first half.
Well, Anthony Sherman, what's a great block on Lamar Houston there. And again, you talk about Jamal Charles, most versatile running back in the entire league, and he's showing us everything today.
Tamba Hali, the fumble recovery after the bad snap by Wisniewski. Kansas City turns it into 7 points. And Ryan Succop. It's been a busy day for Succop. And Succop knocks it through for a 28-10 lead for the Chiefs. Jamal Charles. Big numbers here on the West Coast. Jamal Charles has accounted for 106 of Kansas City's 137 total yards, a career high. 3 touchdowns for Charles. And Dwayne Bowe getting into the music, feeling the beat here at Ho.co Coliseum.
Yeah, he's got 1 catch for 7 yards. He's done his job. He's on a 3rd down.
Ryan Succop to kick off deep for the
28-10, Kansas City in front with 8:59 to play in this first half. Greg Jenkins is now deep along with Taiwan Jones for Oakland. Here's Succop for Kansas City. Line drive. This one will roll out of bounds. So the Raiders will have good field position to open up this drive.
Succop's kickoff goes out of bounds.
Free kick.
Saturday, the road to the Final Four continues. Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans take on the Texas Longhorns. It all starts live at 4 Eastern, right here on the home of the Men's National Championship, CBS Sports. Arizona, Michigan yesterday. Just a fun game to watch. Had that NCAA tournament feel to it. And a great schedule of games for you throughout the season here on CBS and on the CBS Sports Network. First down from the 40-yard line for Oakland. They trail 28-10. Marcel Reese running hard inside. Frank Zombo limits him to a 2-yard gain on the play. Zombo, the former Green Bay Packer.
To the 43.
And talking to Reese about his role on this team, says he never counts plays because that takes away from the team, the cohesiveness. He just wants to help his team win in any way. He's such a valuable player. Plays so many different positions and be productive.
2nd and 7 now for Oakland. Empty backfield. McGloin working shotgun. McGloin throws it underneath. Catch made, but a quick tackle made on the play as Andre Holmes has his first grab of the day. 3-yard pickup. 2nd-year wideout out of Hillsdale, former Dallas Cowboy. And now a 3rd and 4 for the Raiders. Marcel Reese, these are career averages. 4.8 yards per carry. 10 yards plus per catch. But the touches per game are low.
He's got 1 catch today for 45 on that first possession for the Raiders and 2 carries for 8 yards.
3rd and 5. McGloin sets, he throws, incomplete. Holmes, the intended receiver. Sean Smith,
Holmes, the intended receiver.
the tallest corner in the NFL at 6'3", able to get his hand on it, and Oakland forced to punt.
Yeah, he had a better shot at it than the Oakland receiver on the crossing route, right in the middle of the screen here, as he undercuts Holmes, and really should have picked this one off. Got right hand on it, couldn't close.
Marquette King, who had a punt.
There's a wide open gunner right here.
King had a punt
And
blocked.
another one.
And there you go. Dan Fouts calls it. Reese on the toss.
It makes you wonder what the Chiefs were thinking here. Are they going to try and block a punt? King has had 2 blocked this year, but you've got both gunners with no coverage.
Chimdi Chekwa. The pass. Connection made from Reese.
We talk about Reese's versatility. That's one thing we hadn't seen.
Now put that on the graphic. Dave Taub, special teams coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. Raiders keep this drive alive. McGloin looking end zone. 3 Chiefs defenders in the area. Rod Streeter, the intended receiver for Oakland.
Well, you got to think that maybe there might have been a Raider receiver wide open. Whenever there's 3 guys covering one, there's Flowers, there's Barry. Now watch, here comes from the other side of the field, the other safety, Lewis. McGloin hoping for some type of pass interference because that's the only chance that they had on that play.
So a 2nd and 10 now at the 33-yard line of Kansas City. McGloin is 7 of 16 for 117 yards. There's Jennings up the middle, not much there. Picks up a yard. Dontari Pose had a big year for Kansas City, controlling the line of scrimmage in on the stop.
You know, one of the reasons the Chiefs are 10-3 is their takeaway differential, now at a plus 17. 30 takeaways on the season so far.
Number 1 in the NFL at plus 17. 13 giveaways. That's the lowest total in the league. 3rd and 9 for Oakland. Shotgun for McGloin. They trail 28-10 against the Chiefs, who are looking to move to 11-3. McGloin gets rid of it. It's intercepted, picked off by Eric Berry. Berry still on his feet. Spun down across the 35 by Pashos.
And a late flag. But it was a all-out blitz by the Chiefs. Bob Sutton, one of the most aggressive defensive coordinators in the NFL.
At the end of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offensive team number 65. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. 1st down, Kansas City.
And it's Mike Brizell with the penalty.
Now, watch the blitz coming from the Chiefs. You see Derek Johnson coming, you see Brandon Flowers coming, and McGloin just bailing out on this throw. Middle of the field, playing center field is Eric Berry. He cuts in front of Streeter. Now they ought to challenge to see if he was down by contact there, because it did look like Streeter made contact with him as he was making that interception. Here's the penalty by Brizell as he comes in with a late hit.
3rd interception of the season for Berry. After the penalty, Kansas City has it at the 16-yard line. Play action. Smith. Toss it to Charles. Jamal Charles. Monster day for Charles. Touchdown. Number 4.
Well, and 3 of his touchdown receptions all on the same screen pass. Right outside here. Watch the blocking as he gets help. Jeff Allen and Stevenson. And again, untouched on a screen pass. So easy for Chiefs and Charles.
If it keeps working, why would you stop?
Why don't you run it every play?
5 catches, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns on the screenplay, 1 rushing touchdown as well. The extra point from Suckup. And Alex Smith with his 3rd touchdown pass of the day, all to Jamaal Charles. Penalty marker thrown.
Defense number 23. A 5-yard penalty will be added to the kickoff. PAT is good.
35-10, the Kansas City Chiefs exploding here in the Bay Area.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Charles Schwab and by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Out across the Bay Bridge from San Francisco to Oakland, 35-10. The Chiefs leading the Oakland Raiders. 4 touchdowns for Jamaal Charles, the last 4 touchdown game by a Chief. Larry Johnson, October of 2006 against Seattle. And now Suckup will kick it off. Tywan Jones is deep. They'll take a knee. Raiders with a touchback. Thursday on CBS, it's no mystery why Elementary is a hit. Johnny Lee Miller and Lucy Liu star in Elementary. That's Thursday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. It is a rib injury for Charles Woodson. His return is questionable for Oakland.
Yeah, you take the shoulder pads away, that makes it no longer questionable.
First down for the Raiders. Out of the pistol, now trailing 35-10. Jennings up the middle, and he picks up 3 on the play.
A gain of 3 to the
5:32 left to go in this first half. Oakland Raiders, 11 straight losing seasons. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Last playoff appearance was 2002. Dennis Allen completing his 2nd year as the head coach of the Raiders, the 18th head coach in franchise history. We talked to Allen, Reggie McKenzie. They believe that progress is being made, but the results aren't showing it. This team went 4-12 last season. A loss here would drop them to 4-10. McGloin on the slant to Reese. First down. Just shy of the 35-yard line. Is it ruled incomplete? And it is.
Well, he was wide open, and the ball was perfectly thrown by McGloin. Brandon Flowers on the coverage. And that ball coming loose there and does hit the ground. And so that's a good call by the officials and great play by Flowers as he was able to reach around Reese with his right hand and dislodge that pass.
We asked Flowers, who's the guy you looked up to growing up? And he said, without hesitation, Champ Bailey. That's why he wore number 24. That was his favorite cornerback. McGloin almost intercepted by Lewis. And Lewis loses his helmet on the play, and that's a flag.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He goes from a potential pick 6 to now a first down for the Raiders. Helmet cannot come off no matter how upset you are. And he's plenty upset.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 23. Taking his helmet off in the field of play. 15 yards. First down, Oakland.
I'm not sure he was just taking off. He's kind of just slapping the sides of his helmet. And again, McGloin not seeing out in front of his receivers.
He took the...
He did take the chin strap
off.
That came loose.
Wasn't quite Dwayne Rudd, Kansas City against Cleveland, when Rudd ripped off the helmet at the end of the game, and it gave the Chiefs another chance. Anderson kicked the field goal for a win in Cleveland in one of the more bizarre endings.
Did you do that game?
You know, I was involved in that game, man. Yes, thanks for pointing that out.
I thought you had a good memory, but that was amazing.
Yeah, particular John Tate running down the field.
Okay, we get the picture.
Trent Green leading the Chiefs. Dan Deerdorf in the booth. It's all coming back to me. All the memories are flooding back.
Well, that's what happens when the Chiefs are playing. Anything can happen.
Tywan Jones is now in there on a first down. Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. What a terrific job he's done. Former head coach at Army for 9 years. Navy with another win over Army yesterday. McGloin floats it over the head of Jones, incomplete.
I'm not so sure why the fans are booing. There was nothing on that screen pass. That was a smart play by McGloin to throw it over the Chiefs bench. Watch it, trying to throw a ball out here. But watch the Chiefs. They see this bunch formation, and they go right to it. That's a heads-up play by McGloin.
2nd and 10. McGloin is 1 for his last 9 throwing the football. To the ground, and Jennings getting to the outside, and he's spilled out. Down low by Quinton Demps. It's a 4-yard pickup. Matt McGloin had 3 busloads of fans from Scranton, his hometown, come to watch him play last week in New Jersey. And McGloin was touched. He said that, Scranton, great place to grow up, dedicated fans. If they took the bus this week, that would have been impressive.
Yeah, but nobody from Dunder Mifflin went to that game.
No, that was a shame. I thought they should have represented Scranton. The office, 3rd and 6. McGloin, deep ball. It's caught. Denarius Moore inside the 25. Working against Marcus Cooper, the rookie out of Rutgers. 34 yards on the pass play.
Well, they say McGloin doesn't have a very strong arm. He didn't really have to if you get the ball out on time and give your receiver a chance. Really good concentration by Moore as Cooper was right there on his inside. Secures the catch all the way to the ground, and a huge play for the Raiders and McGloin.
Denarius Moore coming back from shoulder injury, had missed the last 3 games. McGloin now 151 yards, but 2 interceptions. McGloin trying to set up his receiver Jacoby Ford, and Flowers is leaving right now for Kansas City.
I don't know if this ball was deflected by Tamba Hali or not, but he was certainly in the throwing lane. McGloin, who's listed at 6'1", that's generous. He's already had 1 pass deflected today. That ball just seemed to get away from him.
Actually went to the Redskins rookie camp, then went to Carolina, traveled to Oakland for a workout, took a physical, and he's been with the Raiders ever since. Undrafted free agent out of Penn State. Pump and throw. Flags down. Rivera, intended receiver, linebacker Zombo back there for Kansas City.
Yeah, good call. Zombo running up the back of Michael Rivera in the end zone. Let's give the Raiders the ball at the 1-yard line.
Defense, number 51. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball was placed at the 1-yard line. First down, Oakland.
It's a 23-yard penalty against Kansas City.
Zombo filling in for Justin Houston. And watch him never look back for the ball. Chops the arms of Rivera right there. And then pulls his arms in like, oh, I didn't do anything. Yes, you did.
Zombo himself, an undrafted free agent. Rashad Jennings gets the call. His 2nd touchdown of the day. Into the black hole for Jennings. And Oakland trying to hang around against the Chiefs.
Jameis Alawale with a key block there. 6'1", 240 pounds, lead blocker here. Going behind Menelik Watson, the tight end as well on that side. Just what the Raiders needed going into halftime.
A high-scoring first half, 35-17. Chiefs in front, and even 3 minutes to play. 8 plays, 80 yards. Remember, the helmet coming off aided the Raiders. Jennings, he got some fans on his side on that one. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company, the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Chiefs 35, Raiders 17, 3 minutes to go in the first half. Matt McGloin, 8 of 22, 151 yards, 2 interceptions for McGloin. Jennings with his second rushing touchdown, capping off that long drive for Oakland. And now Janikowski will kick it off with Gray and Davis deep for Kansas City. This one will roll to the end zone. Touchback as Davis takes a knee. How about the day that Jamal Charles has had for Kansas City?
Well, first play of the game on a screen pass. He goes down the sidelines for 49 yards. In the exact same type of play, totally uncovered for 39 yards. Gets his 11th rushing touchdown of the season there. And then, hey, how about another screen pass? Hey, another touchdown.
The last week, Kansas City put up 45 points in that win over Washington. The last time they had scored 45 points or more was November of 2005, a 45-17 win in Houston. They could top that number here today. They've got 35 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Career-high 4 touchdowns for Charles. Smith throwing. Connection made with Dwayne Bowe as he is out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup. We asked Bowe about Smith. He said he's a leader, and in critical situations, he's the same guy. So the consistency of his personality and his approach. He said Smith has a way of firing this offense up.
And in practice, that's what Andy Reid tries to create, is difficult situations. And Bowe says that Smith handles them all the same with great poise and confidence. And obviously that rubs off on his teammates.
Bowe now in his 7th year for the Chiefs. Maybe his numbers are not what they had been in other years, but the wins are a lot higher. Handoff to Charles up the middle. 5-yard pickup just across the 30-yard line. And it is enough for a first down. So Dwayne Bowe over 50 catches this season. But the biggest key, a chance to win their 11th game of the year. Bowe has talked about the team concept and the brotherhood on this squad as we hit the 2-minute warning. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. Join JB and the rest of the gang. The latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 38 points in the first half last week. That's the most in the NFL this season. Kansas City has 35 here today. Charles Woodson is back in for the Raiders. Play fake. Smith out of the pocket. Alex Smith goes down just across the 30-yard line. Lamar Houston ranging over for Oakland defensively. And we're down to 1:45 to play in this first half. There is the veteran Woodson, now in his 16th year in the league.
Alex Smith in the first half has only missed 1 pass out of 9 throws. Really hasn't had to go down the field all that much. Raiders without any sacks on Smith, but they have forced him out of the pocket a couple of times.
Chiefs had scored 111 points in their last 3 games. They had scored 130 in the previous 6 games. Smith throwing. Donnie Avery, open man. Brought down as he crossed the 40-yard line, and it is enough for a first down, hit by the linebacker Kevin Burnett. We get a timeout with 1:05 to play in this first half. Kansas City up big. 2 interceptions, big part of the storyline in this first half. Matt McGloin picked off by Eric Berry twice. Alex Smith, no mistakes. That's been the theme throughout the season for Smith. Now 21 touchdowns in the season and 6 interceptions. On first down, Smith breaks out of trouble. Smith takes it to the second level and more. Flag is thrown back at the 41-yard line. Raiders are indicating it will work against Kansas City. It's an 18-yard run, but will it be nullified? We are under a minute to go now in the second quarter.
Holding. Offense, number 25. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it is Jamal Charles called on the hold for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it looked like Kevin Burnett was thinking about coming on the blitz. And as he does, Jamal Charles will just grab him. And as Smith steps up in the pocket, Burnett reacts and tries to chase him. That's where the hold happens, as Charles reached out, grabbed a bunch of jersey.
6 penalties, 76 yards against Kansas City.
Really, that's the only bad thing they've done today. Had those 3 on the Raiders touchdown drive earlier in the first quarter.
Shotgun for Smith. Looks. Throws underneath. Charles is brought down quickly. 5-yard gain through the air. Kevin Burnett among those there defensively for Oakland.
Well, this is where you know that Alex Smith is not going to make a mistake. He's only thrown 6 interceptions all season. And he's always been very good with the ball, very cautious at times, taking the check down there for very little yardage, but not risking the interception that would give the Raiders good field position.
Smith 3-0 in his career against the Oakland Raiders. And a timeout. Kansas City has 1 remaining. Now's the time to catch up on episodes of Person of Interest. Jim Caviezel and Michael Emerson star Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
Kind of a homecoming here for Alex Smith. After our meeting with him yesterday, went to his own house in Los Gatos, where family and friends were gathering.
Not a bad deal. He had family coming to the game here today as well in Oakland. Smith spent 8 years as a member of the San Francisco 49ers. Long ball, slapped away. Bo in a matchup with Phillip Adams.
That's number 28, Phillip Adams.
Yeah, Adams does a real good job on this entire route, forcing Bo to the sidelines. May have gotten away with a little push right there, but ball was on target. But watch the left hand there. Perfect timing by Phillip Adams. Now, if the Raiders can hold the Chiefs here short of the first down, they should burn a timeout before the punt team comes out.
Just the second incomplete pass from Alex Smith today. He's 10 out of 12, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3rd and 15. Smith to Bo. And he takes a shot from Jenkins. Short of the first down.
Short of a first down.
Makes you wonder how a receiver hangs on to the ball, but that's why Dwayne Bowe's one of the best in the league. Watch the hit from number 21 right there as the ball comes in, and Bowe makes the catch, takes the hit, and bounces right up.
And a timeout taken with 38 seconds to play in the first half.
And it's good to see that good, clean, legal hit there by Mike Jenkins. The message is getting through to some of these defenders to not go to the head, to throw the shoulder, and avoid the penalty.
Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. Dustin Colquitt to punt it. Greg Jenkins, the return man, standing at his own 8-yard line. Jenkins, the rookie out of Alabama State. Colquitt, Pro Bowler last year. High punt. Fair catch called for. He brings it in cleanly right around the 13-yard line. 39-yard punt.
Yeah, we'll see how Dennis Allen approaches this with Matt McGloin. Do you trust this youngster to run your hurry-up offense? You got 2 timeouts, a long way to go, and only 30 seconds to work with. But what do you got to lose? Trail here by 18. I say go for it.
Raiders 3-3 at home this season. Wins over Jacksonville, San Diego, and Pittsburgh. Reese in the backfield. On first down. Give it to Reese. And they'll go conservative. 1-yard gain. Not taking any chances. And time is going to run out in this first half. Jamaal Charles, 4 touchdowns for the Chiefs. Kansas City with a pick 6 as well from Eric Berry. And that's the end of the first half with the Chiefs leading the Raiders 35-17. We'll come back for Verizon Halftime Report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Halftime, 35-17. The Chiefs leading the Raiders, getting ready for second half action, and our Sonos halftime play. Smith to Charles, and it's football like you've never heard it, presented by Sonos. Charles going all the way, 49 yards. First play from scrimmage to open up the game for Kansas City. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. The Chiefs, we know what kind of turnaround it's been for them this season, one of the great stories in the NFL. But the key for them, they don't want to be a nice story. They want to be a factor in December into January.
Well, they had the 3-game losing streak, but they're back on track.
Yeah.
They got there last week against Washington with offense, defense, and special teams. Same formula today for Kansas City. Got the great kickoff return to start the game. We saw the Charles first play touchdown, and the 3 turnovers resulting in 21 points. So much for an advantage in total yardage for the Raiders. The turnovers have just killed them offensively.
Ryan Suckup kicking it off to Taiwan Jones for Oakland. With a running start, Jones slowed down to the 20, crosses the 25, and that's where the Raiders will have it at the 26-yard line for the first-year QB, Matt McGloin. First half possessions for Oakland.
Yeah, McGloin in that first half, 8 of 22 for 151, 2 interceptions. He had 1 fumble. And the Chiefs taking advantage of 1 interception, a pick 6 for Eric Berry.
Well, Jamaal Charles, we asked him about his health. He said yoga, massages, hot and cold tub, vitamins. He doesn't hurt as much after games compared to previous years. On first down for Rashad Jennings. Flag is thrown. Jennings crosses the 35. Penalty marker back.
Holding. Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
It is Stefan Wisniewski called on the hold.
That's just a horrible start for the Raiders to be backed up after a positive gain on first down. But Wisniewski snapping the ball here, working against Dontari Poe. And again, as Rashad Jennings goes by the pile there, Wisniewski reaches out and keeps Bo from making the tackle.
Taiwan Jones is in. Marcel Reese in front of him. So back it up. Now from the 18-yard line for Oakland. On first and 18, McGloin. He throws to Holmes in stride. Andre Holmes. Been a good find for the Raiders. He was on the Cowboys practice squad for Dallas and for New England, an undrafted free agent in 2011.
Just a 3-man rush for Kansas City, and that opens up the throwing lane for McGloin. He saw Holmes break to the inside and throws on the run perfectly.
22 yards, McGloin to Holmes. So a first down for Oakland. Give it to Jennings. And runs into a crowd as he picks up 2 yards. Jordan and DeVito collaborate to bring him down. It's a big game for Kansas City with Denver losing to San Diego on Thursday night. That opens up the door not only in the AFC West, but for the potential #1 seed in the AFC. Kansas City with a win would move to 11-3. Denver does own the tiebreaker against the Chiefs.
How about Miami taking care of Tom Brady and the Patriots just when you thought the Brady was going to have another miracle comeback there? The Dolphins hang on.
2nd and 8 now for Oakland. Shotgun, McGloin, separation. It's Taiwan Jones. Stays on his feet. Jones breaks another tackle. Jones finally brought down at the 6.
Well, Tywan Jones was a great running back at Eastern Washington. He may get some more playing time now as a running back for the Silver and Black because of plays like this, getting behind Tombo again. That's the matchup the Raiders have been working, is trying to get Reese or a running back on a linebacker, and it works out this time. Big time for Tywan Jones.
Jones with just his second catch of the season, 52 yards. First and goal, McGloin. Out of the pocket, throws, touchdown! A bullet to Andre Holmes. The Oakland Raiders, a strong statement on offense to start this second half.
Well, buying time's really the key for McGloin. Again, the Chiefs don't rush, but four guys. Here's Holmes right here in the slot, and as McGloin rolls out to the right, he just buys time right by the goal line there. That's good vision by McGloin to see through all that traffic and find the receiver.
Extra point, Janikowski. 5 plays, 74 yards. Tywan Jones, who had been on the depth chart at cornerback, setting things up for the McGloin to Holmes touchdown. McGloin to Holmes, a 6-yard touchdown, and for Andre Holmes, his first career touchdown. Second year out of Hillsdale. Jared Valdir also attended Hillsdale, Division II school in Michigan, the Hillsdale Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, that's a nice little piece of information for a former Charger. Dan Fouts. Kickoff. Quentin Demps. Brought down at the 14-yard line. Miles Burris on special teams. You want more Hillsdale information, Dan?
Well, you know, I know one guy, and, you know, putting him in black and white is really not very good, but Howard Mudd played so long ago for the 49ers, was one of the all-time great guards in the NFL, and turned out to be one of the great offensive line coaches of all time.
And let's not forget about Chester Marcole as well, the kicker for the Packers.
Well, we don't count kickers. Come on. Howard Mudd played for the Niners.
That was a color photo, though, of Marcole.
You think he knew that picture was being taken?
I don't think so. He seemed surprised by it. On a give for Charles. Forced to the outside. This crowd is picking up some energy as Stacy McGee was able to get over to the perimeter. 3-yard gain. First half possessions for Kansas City.
Doesn't get much better than that. 4 touchdowns out of 6 possessions, especially when you score in your first play. But that touchdown and that long run after the catch by Tywan Jones and then the touchdown on the next play has given this crowd life, given this Raider team a little bounce to their step.
Raiders have 310 yards of total offense. They shift Jenkins to the backfield. We saw this earlier. Smith looks. Smith dives to the 21. That's a 3-yard gain for Alex Smith. Jamal Charles, the 10th player since 1940 to score at least 4 touchdowns in the first half. On 3rd and 4, Chad Hall is now in there. Play clock down to 1. Smith, incomplete. Try to hit Junior Hemingway, first-year wideout out of Michigan, and Phillip Adams there defensively for Oakland. Kansas City goes 3 and out.
Adams has made a couple of real good plays, got really tight coverage there. May got away with that little hold there as he wrapped his right arm around the back of Hemingway. A penalty that should have been called that wasn't.
And the first 3 and out of the day for the Chiefs offense. Colquitt punting to Jenkins, standing at the 33-yard line of Oakland. booming kick. Jenkins backpedals over the shoulder grab at the 19. Flag is thrown. Jenkins dances to the 25, and he's hit and brought down at the 26. 61-yard punt.
They're going to get the rookie Shelton Johnson for blocking the back there at about the 24-yard line. So McGloin and the Raiders are going to be backed up to start this possession.
Johnson, a backup safety, rookie out of Wisconsin, activated off the practice squad.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 42. 10-yard penalty. First down, Oakland.
Dennis Allen coaching him up as he made his way to the sideline. Raiders trail 35-24. They've got the football when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Universal Pictures 47 Ronin, starring Keanu Reeves, in theaters Christmas Day. And by Bose, the official home audio sponsor of the NFL.
Out near Lake Merritt, this is what our crew likes to do during their downtime prior to the game.
It's a great Walenda in the making.
Working the tightrope. Kansas City leads this one 35-24. Play fake for McGloin. Little dump off for Jennings. Dragged down by Zombo. 4-yard gain for Jennings on the catch and run.
That was a heck of a tackle by Frank Zombo. Looked like Jennings was going to get away, but Jennings' jersey a little bit too big. That allowed Zombo to grab a lot of cloth.
In 4, 2nd and 6.
Second and 6 now for the Raiders. Handoff, Jennings, straight ahead. Across the 25, and a new set of downs for Oakland. Good block from Jared Veldier. It's an 8-yard gain.
1st and 10, Raiders.
Well, defensively for Kansas City, there has been a step backwards over the last 4 games. First 9 games, they went 9-0. And now Terrell Pryor is in the game for Oakland. We saw Pryor in for 1 play in the first half and had his face mask grabbed. Option. Pryor.
I'm not sure what you're going to get out of bringing in Terrell Pryor. The Chiefs know that his biggest threat is on the ground running the read option as he did that time. So they're going to change their defense when he's in the game and be looking for that. They're not worried about him throwing the ball. And McGloin is playing pretty decently here in the second half. In fact, he's 4 for 4 in this half with a touchdown pass.
So Pryor stays in there now on a 2nd and 10 for Oakland. We're down to 8:25 to play in the third. Motion man is Ford. Pistol. Fake the handoff. Pryor to throw it. Floats one. Too high for Reese. Tried to drop it in the bucket. Now it's 3rd and 10 for the Raiders.
Number 45, Marcel Reese.
Marcel Reese had Zombo beat, but the ball just floats on Terrell Pryor as you see him try to just loft it over the top. That's a tough pass for any quarterback, but for one that's struggling with his throwing motion, a touch pass like that, it's got to make you wonder what Matt McGloin's going through his mind. He might have put that ball right on Reese because Reese had beaten the linebacker.
8 starts this season for Pryor. He leads all NFL quarterbacks in rushing yards. And this is now a 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. Handoff. Jennings. Rashad Jennings. Big run for Oakland out across the 45. Khalif Barnes starting at left guard. He's been at right tackle. He's been at left tackle. Now starts at left guard and created some space.
Well, draw play and a good lead block again by Jamez Alawali. And I think the Chiefs were caught off guard there with that draw play. 21 big yards for Jennings.
Pryor remains in there. Here's Pryor. Zigzags out of bounds across midfield for a 4-yard gain. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB, Coach Cowher standing
Jets
by.
with a made-up mind to run.
Sheldon Richardson, yes, defensive lineman, his second attempt, 1-yard touchdown run, 9-play, 86-yard drive, and Carolina only leading by 3 to start the fourth.
Big fella, determined to get it done. Ian and Dan.
From the 49.
All right, guys, thanks very much. The New York Jets still mathematically in the hunt. Need a win, though, against Carolina to stay in the race in the AFC. 2nd and 6. Jennings gets the call. They push the pile to just shy of the 45-yard line. 3-yard gain. Mike DeVito in on that stop for Kansas City. We're under 7 minutes to go now in the third. Chiefs lead at 35-24 over Oakland.
And the best running plays in this half have been right up the middle against this Chief defense. Good job up front by Khalif Barnes, who's now playing left guard. What a versatile lineman Barnes has turned into in his 9th year. You see him play almost every position on the offensive line except for center.
McGloin remains on the sideline. Play clock is down to 7, and Oakland will use a timeout. 2 remaining for the Raiders. They face a 3rd and 2 when we come back. Oakland Raiders trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They are 4-9. The Kansas City Chiefs looking to improve to 11-3. Raiders just used the timeout. It's a 3rd and 2 for Oakland with Terrell Pryor in there. Movement. Mike Brizell.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Watch Brizell just come out of his stance. A real killer penalty right there against the Raiders.
And now it's 3rd and 7. Look who comes in.
Yeah, McGloin's back in. I had a feeling that was going to be a quarterback draw because the Chiefs had 6 defensive backs on the field. Pryor went empty, and the quarterback draw was there.
8th play of the drive. McGloin sets, throws, deep ball. Oh, what an effort! Andre Holmes. Terrific grab out on the perimeter.
Not only that, but into the sun. He was looking back into the sun. Lost his shoe, but caught the ball. Look at this effort here. One-handed all the way to the ground and control. Fabulous catch.
One hand, one shoe, and a first down. 28 yards.
Being interfered with on the way to the ground by Cooper.
McGloin, incomplete.
And a flag.
Denarius Moore, the intended receiver.
And a call holding against the Chiefs.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Boy, they are attacking Marcus Cooper. Cooper got away with it on the last play, but watch him. Right on his back there is number 31. Ball still could have been caught by Denarius Moore.
This Kansas City defense has given up 379 yards to Oakland. 8 penalties against the Chiefs, costing them 91 yards. First down for the Raiders. They haven't been able to stop Jennings. He goes up the middle. Hit down low by Derek Johnson. It's a 3.5-yard gain for Jennings. Tonight, it's the most secretive and controversial spy agency in the world. So why did the NSA open its doors and speak to 60 Minutes? Find out tonight. Only CBS. 35-24, Kansas City leading the Raiders. Beautiful day here in the Bay Area. We had 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. McGloin out of the gun. McGloin throws. Touchdown! Michael Rivera. The Raiders have rallied.
And the Chiefs have helped the Raiders rally. And how about Matt McGloin, fearless, throwing the ball to his tight end with tight coverage by Derek Johnson. Put the ball up high for Rivera. Watch Johnson. He's got him right down the middle of the field, but the ball thrown perfectly by McGloin. And the penalty against the rookie Cooper. The great catch by Holmes. And the Raiders, who would have thought this?
Extra point, Janikowski. A scoring spree from Oakland. McGloin is letting it rip in this second half. It's 35-31, Kansas City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places. And by TD Ameritrade.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders here at O.co Coliseum. 10-play, 86-yard drive. Rivera, the 14-yard touchdown catch. McGloin, 3 of 3 on the drive. And Janikowski now kicks it off. It'll be a touchback as Niall Davis hauls it in. Chiefs will have it at the 20.
First and 10 for Kansas City.
Go back to the touchdown here. Watch Marcel Reese go on the outside here. That takes the corner. That allows Rivera to be one-on-one with the linebacker, Derek Johnson. But the throw is absolutely perfect. Rivera, who goes 6'3", and then into the stands.
Rivera, the rookie out of Tennessee. 4 touchdowns now in the season. 21 unanswered points from the Raiders. Kansas City had a sizable lead. It's down to 4. Fake it to Charles. Throw it to McGrath. And McGrath toppled over. Brandon Ross over there defensively. It's an 8-yard gain. Anthony Fasano is out. Fasano out with a concussion, so McGrath getting the nod at tight end. This is such a pivotal game for Kansas City if they have any chance at that number 1 seed. Need a victory here to move to 11-3. Give it to Charles. Nothing there. 1-yard gain short of the 30-yard line. And that's the yard to gain for the first down. Hunter combining with Muir to make the stop for Oakland.
This is exactly what Alex Smith was worried about. Not putting away the Raiders, not giving them any type of hope. And by penalties and not being able to control the ball here in the second half, that's exactly what they've done. They've given hope, and the Raiders with a hot quarterback. Matt McGloin 6 for 6 so far for 126 here in the half.
3rd and 1 for Kansas City. Smith. Fake the run. The throw to Jamal Charles. And Charles now a foot race. Goodbye, Jamal Charles. What a day it's been for Charles. 71 yards on the catch and run. It's touchdown number 5.
This is what you might call really good success for Jamal Charles. He talked about playing here and how excited he was, but I don't think he ever envisioned this type of day. Just a wheel route out of the backfield, isolated on the second-year linebacker Miles Burris, and forget about it. Spectacular.
16th player with at least 5 touchdowns in the game. Have to go back to Clinton Portis, the last guy to do it 10 years ago. Extra point from Suckup, and what a turn here in Oakland. The crowd was energized. The Raiders defense picking up steam, but they can't cool off that man. Jamal Charles, a one-man wrecking crew. Jamal Charles is the first running back in NFL history with 4 receiving touchdowns in a game. He's got 5 overall. 7 catches, 187 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 carries, 20 yards, 1 touchdown. That's 207 combined for Charles.
And you look at the type of season he's had. You take Peyton Manning out of the picture, you'd have to consider Charles as an MVP candidate.
He told us his first career 100-yard game came here in Oakland. He's never forgotten it. Loves playing here. Suck up on the kickoff. Taiwan Jones trying to loop around to the outside. Does he have the speed? Turns the corner, and then he is brought down short of the 30-yard line. Chiefs feel like they've jarred the ball loose. Was the play whistle dead is the question. Abdullah claims he's got it. And they're indicating that Oakland will hold on to the football with Clete Blakeman pointing in that direction.
Well, that's really close because his elbow hit the ground, and I think that's what caused the ball to come out. If that's the case, the elbow is down right there.
Josh Martin with a hit on special teams for Kansas City.
Andy Reid's got the red flag in his hand. He's talking to the officials on the sidelines, but once the elbow hits the ground, play is over.
You got the left elbow. He had his right hand and wrist, and now Reid tosses the red flag.
Yeah, well worth the challenge by Andy Reid. This could go either way because you can't really tell how secure he had the ball in his hand before his left arm hit the ground.
Line judge having a long conversation with Reid. That's Ron Marinucci. And another look at it at the Jones return. Official never said who recovered it.
The return man was down by contact prior to losing the ball.
He was ruled down by contact. So there was no clear recovery. That's part of the issue when you're challenging fumbles. One more look at it. Take a look at the right hand. Even before the left wrist. That ball was moving, though.
But from that angle, it does look like the ball is out. And that's what Clete's going to take a look at.
So Clete Blakeman now will go under the hood and take a peek.
This Under the Hood feature brought to you by Service, the official tablet of the NFL.
So it's Jamal Charles 35 and Oakland 31.
The other touchdown came on the Eric Berry pick six. Left elbow and the football seemed to hit right at the same time. From the other angle, we did see a little bit of movement. Now keep an eye on who recovers the football as well. Now Kansas City comes away with it with Abdullah.
Yeah, Abdullah's got it. Josh Martin with the hit. And Taiwan Jones looking at the replay board here at the stadium. Yeah, the right hand really is irrelevant. It's the left. It's got to be the forearm or the elbow, not the hand or the wrist. I know that's really splitting hairs there, but it's where the ball is when the left elbow and forearm hit the ground. Now that appears that the ball is out because it's beyond the crook in his arm there.
So you see, just as he's falling down, that ball is starting to come out.
Yeah, you can see you can also see the laces move a lot. That really helps define the picture here. That is a fumble. This will be a Kansas City ball if Clete Blakeman sees the same things, as he's already made his decision and will tell us shortly.
Colin Field was down by contact.
As part of the review process, we looked at two components, whether there was a fumble and if there was a clear recovery. First of all, there was a fumble. The player fumbled and lost control of the ball prior to being down by contact. In addition, Kansas City made a clear recovery, number 39, at the 28-yard line. At that point, he was down by contact. Therefore, it's Kansas City's ball, 1st and 10 on the 28. Kansas City will not be charged a timeout.
So it is Martin, the rookie from Columbia, knocking the ball loose. Abdullah, the veteran backup safety, on the recovery, and the Chiefs take over on the fumble by Taiwan Jones.
Now there's Martin coming over the top, number 95. And the ball moving in the left arm, hits the ground and is out. And the recovery by Abdullah at the 28.
So 1st and 10 for Kansas City. Smith makes the connection with Charles. Dives ahead across the 20-yard line to the 19. That's where Tracy Porter is. It's a 9-yard gain for the Chiefs as we will hit 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Would that be a win for the Raider defense? A 9-yard gain for Charles?
At this rate, yes. Charles will get a breather.
8 catches for 195 yards. He deserves a breather.
2nd and short here for KC. On the ground, Niall Davis getting the opportunity. It's a 3-yard pickup. Hit by Kevin Burnett. Well, Chicago Bears Hall of Fame running back Gale Sayers became just the 3rd player in NFL history to score 6 touchdowns in the game. Rushed for 4, caught 1, returned to punt for a touchdown. 61-20 rout of the San Francisco 49ers in 1965.
And I know a lot of 49er fans are watching the game today after the Niners won today, and they cringe when they see that highlight of Sayers. Unbelievable effort on a muddy Wrigley Field.
And the man on the call, Bob Fouts. Chad Hall taking it to the outside. Hall re-signed this week because of the injury to Dexter McCluster. Hall has bounced back and forth on the roster, off the roster, re-signed on Friday once they realized McCluster was not going to be able to make the trip.
11 yards on that pass play. 1st and goal for Kansas City and the Raiders 6.
Did I mention that Bob is also your dad, Dan? I don't know if you got the reference earlier.
He is?
Yeah. Yep.
And he's alive and well watching today's game over in the city. Hey, Dad.
1st and goal for the Chiefs. Smith, a dart. Sean McGrath, touchdown, Kansas City. Alex Smith, 5 touchdowns on the day.
Just a good sharp route there. Beats Brandon Ross across his face. And Smith with a clear throwing lane. Fastball to McGrath. Perfect execution.
Taking advantage of the Oakland turnover. Extra point coming from Suckup. 2nd touchdown of the season for McGrath. Suckup knocks it through. It's a 49-31 lead for the Chiefs, and a flag thrown at the 1-yard line.
Offside. Defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty added to the kickoff. The PAT is good.
Well, one more look at McGrath's touchdown. You can see that throwing lane. No pressure at all on Alex Smith. Easy score for KC again.
Yeah, McGrath on the fake spike. Well, he's got some stickum. And his beard has its own mortgage, I think. It's impressive. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS features a doubleheader. Huge playoff implications. Game 1, the Colts take on the Chiefs. Peyton Manning looks to continue his record-breaking season. The Broncos meet the Texans. Then in Game 2, the Ravens battle Tom Brady and the Patriots. It all starts live at noon Eastern. JB and Company, the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. Alex Smith, back in the Bay Area. 277 yards, 5 touchdowns for Smith. That's now 23 touchdowns on the season, 6 interceptions acquired in a trade with San Francisco, the former #1 overall pick back in 2005. Kickoff from Suckup. Tywan Jones not going to take this one out. Raiders will have it at the 20, now down 49-31. Let's go to New York. JB, Coach Cowher.
Defense of the Panthers helping offensively.
Yeah, how about Captain Mutterling? What a day he's had. 2 sacks, and then right here, he's going to step in front, take this pass from Geno Smith. Captain Mutterling is going to score from 41 yards out, and right now the Jets are losing 30-13.
Iron Eagle, Hall of Famer Dan Fouts.
All right, gentlemen, thanks very much. Carolina very much in the hunt in the NFC. Throw to Rashad Jennings over the middle, and Jennings is wrapped up short of the 25. It's a 4-yard gain. Zombo and Jordan combine to bring him down. We'll hit the 1-minute mark of this third quarter. It's a Kansas City team that has doubled its scoring average from last year to this year. They averaged 13.2 points per game last year, 26.4 coming into action today. Obviously, that number is going to go up as they put 49 up on the board.
With a lot of time left.
2nd and 6. Late in the third, Jennings dishing out a little punishment. Lewis couldn't bring him down. Initially, Barnes and Wisniewski creating some space. It's a 7-yard gain and a first down for Oakland.
Well, that type of effort shows you why Rashad Jennings is going to be a major factor for the Raiders next year. Great effort player.
Time will run out here at the end of the third. Jennings now with 90 yards on the day and 2 touchdowns. Kansas City 49, Raiders 31 after 3. Start of the fourth quarter, Chiefs leading the Raiders 49-31. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew, producer Bob Monsbach, director Suzanne Smith, Bob, a proud native of San Francisco, our broadcast associate Chuck Herman from Fremont, California.
Welcome home, boys.
1st and 10 now for Oakland. Bootleg. McGloin fires. Deep ball short. He bounced it in the direction of Rod Streeter. Lewis and Flowers back there deep for Kansas City.
Well, I think McGloin felt the pass pressure from Derek Johnson. Johnson had a beat on him.
110th all-time meeting. The 80 combined points today ties the most in series history. Now we still have the full fourth quarter to go. The Raiders have 407 yards. They've run 60 plays. Play action, McGloin has the protection. Just looking downfield, waiting for somebody to get open. McGloin throws to the wrong team. Frank Zombo with the interception. That is the 5th Oakland turnover of the day.
And Zombo's first career interception. This is a matter of just having too much time to throw. Looking all over the field, anticipating that his receiver will come back to the ball here. Trying to squeeze it into Marcel Reese. Actually, that was Olawale down the field. And Zombo with a nice catch, diving forward to get it before it hits the ground.
3rd pick of the day for McGloin. Kansas City has scored 28 points off of takeaways. They came in plus 15, the best turnover differential in the NFL. They are now plus 20. Niall Davis is in with Anthony Sherman. Give is to Davis, 3rd round pick out of Arkansas. Lamar Houston with the tackle. Well, you have to go back 27 game stretch for Kansas City without a 300-yard passer. That's September of 2012. That is the longest streak in the NFL. They did that 300-yard passer at Buffalo last season. Oakland Raiders have gone 17 games without a 300-yard passer. Looks like Smith and McGloin will both go over 300 today. Smith at 277, McGloin at 281. Smith avoids it, loses the ball. It pops over to Stacy McGee. The Raiders take over. Turnover, Kansas City, the first of the day for the Chiefs.
Well, Alex Smith has fumbled 4 times now. That's the first time he's lost a fumble. Trying to make something out of a disastrous situation with Jason Hunter on his foot. And somebody popping the ball loose.
The rookie Stacy McGee on the fumble recovery. First-year defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. Hunter putting the heat on Smith, so the Raiders get it back at the 35. Fewest giveaways in the NFL this season. Kansas City leading it 49-31. Mastru, the motion man. McGloin throws. Caught by Streeter. Brought down just across the 40 by Brandon Flowers. It's a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, I like that play call and that read by McGloin. He saw Flowers off of Streeter, got him the ball quickly, and that's a positive play on first down, something the Raiders have to have as they now will just operate from the line of scrimmage.
Raiders outgained the Jets last week as well in a loss, 383-352. They've outgained the Chiefs today, 412-301. McGloin hits his man Rivera. Looks to be just short of the first down. Needed to get to the 45. They'll spot him just across the 44.
Now you see how quickly that McGloin in the last 2 plays just getting the ball out of his hand. Better play calling now by Greg Olsen. Not looking for the big bomb as they were last time when he threw the interception to Zombo.
Olsen now in his 12th year as a coach in the NFL, the offensive coordinator of the Raiders. Playing a chess game against Bob Sutton of the Chiefs, the defensive coordinator. Jennings, it's enough for a first down. They'll spot him across the 45. Raiders come in with the 4th-ranked rushing offense, 27th in passing. Bob Sutton's defense really impressive early in the season as they started the year 9-0, but the last few weeks they've given up a lot of yards.
Well, to Peyton Manning twice and to Phillip Rivers once. That's 2 of the best in the AFC.
No Justin Houston for Kansas City with the elbow injury. McGloin, flag is thrown. McGloin looking downfield and he'll throw it away. 2 penalty flags, both thrown at the 37-yard line. The pressure coming from Zombo, who has stepped in for Houston.
One on each team here,
Holding.
Ryan.
Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Oh, they got to call the hit on McGloin. It went right across his face mask. So they called 2 flags go on the holding against Valdir, the left tackle. But watch as McGloin gets away from this pressure. He's going to get hit right there in the face mask. Inside the helmet there. You can't grab anywhere near the opening of the helmet. And that clearly, by Zombo, should have been called a penalty.
First and 20 now for Oakland. 11:56 to go in the 4th. 49-31 advantage for Kansas City. McGloin 290 yards through the air. Set up the screen for Reese. Turns it upfield. And Reese is stacked up as he crossed the 40-yard line.
Marcel Reese on the screen pass.
Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show, JB and the rest of the gang. The latest NFL scores and highlights, that's all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Did you see on that tackle line there were 6 Chiefs taking down Marcel Reese on the sidelines? Tremendous pursuit by the Chief defense.
Gain of 7 for Oakland. McGloin now with 297 yards. 2nd and 13. Out of the gun. McGloin. Wobbly throw is intercepted by Derek Johnson. Johnson had a pick last week and just came up with his 11th interception in his career.
Intercepted by number 56, Derek Johnson.
There's Johnson right here, looking for that slant route, trying to get the ball in behind to Holmes, and another big play by the playmaker, Derek Johnson. See number 56, Derek Johnson, taking a look at the receiver, and then the route, and Tyson Jackson got his right hand on that ball. And that's why it was easily picked off by Derek Johnson.
4th interception for McGloin. Niall Davis forcing his way down the sideline and a penalty marker thrown.
Niall Davis around right end, a penalty flag of the play.
Raiders indicating it will be against Kansas City. Let's see if Clete Blakeman agrees.
Holding. Offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's Sean McGrath called on the hold. Coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show, JB and company, NFL scores, highlights, all coming up on the Subway postgame show. Well, that was the combination, Jackson and Johnson, creating the turnover for Kansas City. Tip ball by Jackson. Johnson with his 11th career interception.
Now the ball back in Chief territory, but this is the 6th time that the Chiefs have started a drive on the Raiders side of the field because of all these turnovers. 6 of them today.
Last week, Andy Reid became the 21st head coach in NFL history with 150 career wins. Smith for Niall Davis. Brought down as he crossed midfield. 2 flags come in. 3 flags now. Kansas City bench pointing to the Oakland Raiders defenders. Stacey McGee on the chase down.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Defense, number 92. 15 yards. First down, Kansas City.
And it is McGee on the horse collar.
Yep, that right hand inside the jersey there. And that was a rule that was instituted a few years back as a safety issue. So many players getting injured as they were tackled. And the player reaching inside the back of the jersey or even the front. He cannot grab inside that jersey at all.
First meeting between these two teams back on October the 13th. Kansas City won it 24-7. But the Raiders played well defensively in that first half. Jamal Charles had 2 touchdowns that day.
Yeah, but Terrell Pryor threw 3 interceptions and was sacked 9 times.
Charles has 5 touchdowns today. Niall Davis continues to get the action now in the 4th quarter. It's a 2-yard gain hit by Brandon Ross. JB, Bill Cowher, update in New York.
Green Bay narrowing the gap.
Yeah, Dallas, look, watch Philadelphia lose, but now watch right here. Matt Flynn hits James Starks 11 yards out. They close the lead 29-24 early in the 4th.
12:47 left in regulation. Back, you know what? They didn't tell me this, but it is the bird in the beard, right? Thank you very much.
Yeah, JB and the coach. Dallas always makes it interesting, don't they?
Are you kidding?
They've got a knack.
They have a knack. That's part of Tony Romo's DNA, I think.
2nd and 8. Play fake. Smith, pressure. Gets out of it. Smith. Terrific run by Smith out across the 20-yard line. Nick Roach put the heat on Smith, and he turns it into an 11-yard gain as Ross came up limping at the end of the play.
That's really the hidden dimension of this Chief offense, is the ability of Alex Smith to get out of trouble and then make positive yards.
Pryor is warming up along the Oakland sideline.
I'm wondering why he would wear gloves on a day like today. 60 degrees here in Oakland, looking for maybe a better grip on the ball, but it ain't cold.
New set of downs for Kansas City. Niall Davis. Oh, impressive rookie. Davis going the distance. Touchdown, Kansas City. A scoring barrage by the Chiefs here in Oakland.
Yeah, his 2nd touchdown run of his brief career. Look at the blocking there as they just open a huge gap in that Raider defense.
Knile Davis had a big year in 2010 for Arkansas. 1,322 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, first team All-SEC. Then a left ankle injury in 2011 slowed things down a bit for him. Third round pick, and the Chiefs have got a 1-2 punch in Charles and Davis. Suck up the extra point. Kansas City has scored 56 points on the road in Oakland, looking to sweep the Raiders for the first time since 2006. All the running backs getting involved.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Holiday savings on the gifts everyone wants. Aflac. When you're sick or hurt, Aflac pays you cash. Find out more at aflac.com. And by the Acura Season of Reason sales event.
$56 points for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the most in the NFL this season. And the first 50-plus point game in Chiefs history since 2004. 56-31. Kansas City in front. Ryan Succop kicking it off to Greg Jenkins of Oakland. Six yards deep in the end zone. He'll take it out. Jenkins caught shy of the 20-yard line. Terrell Pryor is coming in to run the Oakland offense when we come back. Matt McGloin now watching from the sideline, but the vision is affected. He got poked in the eye on that play that we showed you earlier. No penalty was called. Pryor giving it off to Marcel Reese. Reese out across the 25-yard line, hit by Brandon Flowers, 8-yard gain. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS, the game between the Chiefs and the Raiders. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. Our score 56-31 Kansas City. 60 Minutes will be seen immediately after the game, except on the West Coast where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Give it to Reese again. Nothing there for Reese.
Marcel Reese again, the ball carrier.
Brought down by James Michael Johnson. We've got second teamers in there now for Kansas City on defense. Mike Catapano is in. Desmond Moses is in. Dante Robinson. Marcus Cooper. Quentin Demps is in. For Oakland, Rashad Jennings is in on a 3rd and 2. Pryor incomplete. Oakland goes 3 and out. Michael Rivera the intended target. It's a final. The Jets fall to Carolina 30-20. So the Jets came into the day with playoff hopes, trying to stay in the mix. Miami with a huge win over New England. Marquette King on. Remember, Raiders did go with a fake punt earlier on a toss from Marcel Reese. This time Marquette King boots in the air to Chad Hall, filling in for McCluster. Hall is brought down short of the 35. We've got 6:58 to play. Miles Burris makes the play on special teams. Kansas City with a 56-31 lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the new Intel-powered 2-in-1s. Intel, look inside. And by Chase Freedom. Get your cash back.
Alex Smith is done for the day. 17 of 20, 287 yards, 5 touchdowns for Smith. And now 4-0 in his career against the Raiders. Give it to Knile Davis. Jamal Charles on the day, 8 catches, 195 yards, 4 touchdowns. 8 carries for 20 yards and another touchdown.
Yeah, first play of the game, 49 yards. That kind of set the tone for a career day. Then he goes 39 on the next possession. There's one rushing touchdown right there, but the screen pass was very good for Charles and the Chiefs early in the game. And how about that long 71-yarder in the third quarter on a wheel route?
2nd and 7, Davis. They ride down Davis at the 39-yard line. Jason Hunter with the stop. We asked Charles about coming here to play. Said the crowd is one of a kind. And he feels like, with his play, they can turn on the Raiders.
You know what? They did, and now they've turned to the parking lot thanks to Jamal Charles. This play's clearing out quickly.
It's a fair point.
A lot of Chief fans gathering behind the Chief bench to celebrate this huge victory.
Kansas City uses a timeout. 5:43 to go in the fourth. Chase Daniel is in there for Alex Smith. A win for the Chiefs. They clinch a playoff berth, but they're still thinking about that #1 seed, and the Seagulls are looking for some crumbs.
Keep your hat on, folks.
High anxiety here in Oakland. This week, don't miss the show that is in a league by itself with guys who take on all 32 teams and each other every week. James Brown, Phil Simms, Chris Collinsworth with the artistry of NFL films and the chemistry of the boys. Catch Inside the NFL, that's Wednesday at 9 only on Showtime. So Chase Daniel, 5th-year quarterback out of Missouri, formerly with the New Orleans Saints. Daniel to throw it. Low throw. Cyrus Gray with a catch. And Gray's got a first down. Gray makes Porter miss and then turns it upfield. And a chance for Kansas City to use more clock. 18 yards on the catch and run for Gray.
Well, Gray doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, so he wants to impress his teammates and the coaches, and he'll do that with this type of effort.
18 yards.
6th-round pick last year out of Texas A&M. Kansas City closing in on an 11-3 record. What a turnaround for a team that went 2-14 last season. Give it to Gray. Right up the gut to the 40-yard line. Lamar Houston with the tackle. Chiefs have not won a playoff game since the 1993 season. Divisional playoff, Joe Montana, 3 second-half touchdowns. Marcus Allen, also a big part of this win for Kansas City, a 21-yard touchdown run to seal the deal. 28-20 Chiefs win over the Houston Oilers.
Just still weird to see Montana in a Chief uniform and Marcus Allen in a Chief uniform.
2nd and 7. Chase Daniel to throw it. Walloped. Junior Hemingway, the intended receiver. 4:13 to play. Mike Jenkins there defensively. Kansas City will improve to 11-3. Denver has the tiebreak, but the Chiefs up next, home for Indianapolis, and then at San Diego week 17. Denver plays at Houston next week.
And the Raiders go to San Diego next week. So San Diego's still very much alive.
And Cincinnati with a chance to move up as well. Timeout. Play clock was winding down. So a 3rd and 7 coming up for Kansas City. So the battle for the #1 seed in the AFC. This is what Denver has left at Houston. They'll come out here to Oakland, Kansas City, Indianapolis, at San Diego, and the Patriots will be at Baltimore. We'll have that game for you here on CBS, and then wrap up their season at home against Buffalo.
And next week, Ian, we'll be in Houston. Peyton Manning on the verge of setting one of the all-time great quarterback records for touchdown passes.
Tom Brady has the record with 50. Peyton Manning currently with 47. Don't forget, 60 Minutes will be coming up immediately after our coverage, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. 3rd and 7 now for Kansas City, just over 4 minutes to play. Daniel out of the pocket, and he throws it away. Burnett putting the pressure on Chase Daniel.
Daniel's pass incomplete.
Yeah, pretty good blitz that time by the Raiders. Jason Tarver bringing pressure here on Chase Daniel, and it's Burnett with a free run at the quarterback.
Greg Jacobs team.
Dustin Colquitt to punt it. Greg Jenkins standing at his own 9-yard line for Oakland. End over end, it pops up in the air. You can't do it much better than that. NFL Today update. We send it to New York. JV and the coach.
Dallas capping a 10-play, 80-yard drive.
Oh, watch Des Bryant. You talk about strong hands. He throws it back here. Tony Romo in the back of the end zone after going around Des Bryant. 5 yards. Feet are inbounds. They now take a 36-24 lead with less than 8 minutes to go in the game.
Back to Mr. NBA and NFL.
That's you.
Oh, I thought that was you. You were a big Warriors fan growing up.
I still am. Are you kidding?
Philadelphia at 8-6, a crushing loss to Minnesota today. Olawale with the carry. Up the middle with under 4 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. That's where the Warriors play, Oracle Arena.
I didn't mean to cross out the name, but that's where they play. And I think our car is right there.
That's
yeah.
Whoa.
2nd and 8 from the 3.
Mark Jackson, head coach of the Warriors, done a terrific job building that franchise back. Need to get Andre Iguodala back in the fold. 2nd and 8. Pryor. And that's the threat he always brings, Terrell Pryor. But kind of went south that Giant game that you and I broadcast in New Jersey, where Pryor wasn't 100%, wanted to play, was not effective in that game. And that's when the coaching staff made the decision. McGloin got the start. Pryor was injured, and then McGloin held on to the job. 5 consecutive starts for McGloin, still having problems with the eye.
Yeah, I think the knee injury, obviously, to Pryor hurt him in that game. Said afterwards he probably shouldn't have played. And since that point, as you said, McGloin has taken advantage of his situation.
Pryor, good throw to Moore. Denarius Moore ducks out of bounds.
Number 17, Denarius Moore.
It's been a real team effort today for Kansas City. We've seen what they've done on offense. Eric Berry with the pick 6 there. The fumble by McGloin, recovered by Ali. And then another interception there by Berry. 6 turnovers forced by the Chief defense this afternoon.
First down for the Raiders. Pryor, his man fell down. Andre Holmes, it's incomplete. We talked about the McGloin eye injury. Took place on that play where there should have been a face mask call. Right here, Zombo. And McGloin, at the end of the play, having a tough time and went to the sideline. And we've watched him along the sideline. Been squinting a lot. Looks very uncomfortable. Pryor down the field. Intercepted. Ron Parker.
Well, Ron Parker playing center field. In fact, he was sitting in the cheap seats there. Came up, Pryor trying to make a play down the field. And for Parker, you can see him just playing as deep as the deepest receiver. That's his first career interception and the 7th turnover today by the Raiders.
Parker, the former Raider, comes up with the pick. Ron Parker out of the cheap seats, huh?
I wonder whatever happened to him.
Well, there he is.
The Sklar brothers took over.
Give it to Niall Davis. Out of bounds. It's the one thing Kansas City didn't need, but it's a moot point here with 2:44 to go. 35 points off of turnovers for Kansas City. Now, we talked about the quarterback situation for Oakland moving forward. As you try to reconstruct the franchise, that's the position that you've got to feel good about. That you've got the guy that you're building around. Give it to Davis, and he's brought down short of the 30-yard line.
Well, it's obvious the Raiders either have to draft a quarterback or make a trade for one, or find somebody in free agency that wants to play here. But the two quarterbacks they have right now just continue to prove that they're just not up to the task. Raiders have some decent talent on their offense. It would be interesting to see where they go with Darren McFadden in the offseason.
Well, I think McGloin has proven that there's a spot for him in this league for a guy that was an undrafted free agent, walked on at Penn State. Now, that's quite a story in of itself, but to be a starter, that's a different issue as we hit the 2-minute warning. CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a look inside the National Security Agency, followed by the Survivor finale and live reunion show. That's tonight on CBS. Final 2 minutes here in Oakland, 56-31 Chiefs. Chase Daniel out of the gun on 3rd and 7. Hits Niall Davis, who is then hit by the Raiders defense led by Charles Woodson. And the clock continues to roll with 1:45 and counting left. Well, the Seagulls have made their way out of here. Not the family, the birds. Oakland Raiders will drop to 4-10 on the season. Kansas City now even with Denver. Broncos did sweep the Chiefs, but both are 11-3. Fourth down for the Chiefs. Anthony Sherman with the catch. And Sherman's got a first down. Out across the 20-yard line for Kansas City.
Well, the day started with a screen pass. It turned out pretty well. It's going to end pretty well with the screen pass to Sherman there to pick up the first down, and that will run the clock out and give Kansas City what they came for. Spot in the playoffs.
Jamal Charles, a career day. 4 touchdown receptions and a rushing touchdown. Tied Abner Haynes for the team record. Victory formation here for Kansas City. And that'll do it. The Kansas City Chiefs clinch a playoff spot. A 56-31 win over the Oakland Raiders. Kansas City improves to 11-3, and they sweep the Raiders for the first time since 2006. Alex Smith back in the Bay Area. 5 touchdowns for Smith, no interceptions. Final score, 56-31, Chiefs over Oakland. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by the Survivor finale and live reunion show. So for Dan Fouts, our entire crew, this is Ian Eagle saying so long from Oakland. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. The Chiefs clinch a playoff spot.